Dear Ruth, it's really a pleasure to see you again on Tonalité de Femme. Our last interview was 3 years ago, and since then a lot happened for you. But first of all, Ruth, tell us what brings you from Washington to London today.
Well, I'm here for a little vacation with my husband, but while I'm here, I am going to give an award to the show, the British Broadcasting Company show called Call the Midwife, because it has shown in the United States and it has done a great deal for educating American families about midwifery and what midwives do and what their training is and how effective their work is. This film all takes place after World War II on the docks in London with the poor British people. But it shows, you know, the compassion that midwives and nurses have for the poor people of the world.
Yes, Rose, because as we know in Tonalité de Femme, you are a midwife, a doctor of anthropology, and the founder of the Developing Families Center in Washington, D.C. Your mission is to improve the general health of American families, especially mothers and babies. Child poverty in the district of Washington, D.C. is higher than the national average. How would you describe this neighborhood?
The neighborhood where we have put our program is a neighborhood that is solidly African American, but they're people whom I describe as being the descendants of the original slaves, because they are very conservative in many ways. They don't believe in abortion, they don't believe in adoption, and they just have a desire to keep the family alive and going. The thing that I made a special attempt at in going to Washington was to network with these families beforehand, because when white people go into black neighborhoods, Sonia, it's usually for population control. And we were not there for population control. We were there to make life better for the families that were developing and bringing forth their children and so forth. So I made sure that all the people we were trying to serve knew what we were about doing, and that included the government officials, because many of the government officials in the district are of African American background. When I would go into those offices, I would say right away, now I know I'm the wrong color, and I'm from the wrong place. I'm from New York, and everybody knows New Yorkers are crazy. But then I would show them a film that we had made about a birth center that we did in the South Bronx, which is also a very poor section. It was mixed, people of Hispanic origin and African Americans. And the people in the film are so articulate about how the midwifery care empowered them. I mean, we did things like teach the women to do their own weights, test their own urines, and they wrote it on their records. And I would say, it's not my health, it's your health. You need to be really very knowledgeable about your health.
And Ruth, you say something also which is really powerful. You said that the majority of women can have normal pregnancies and healthy births without specialized maternity care, regardless of their income level or cultural background. Is this the conclusion of your experience over the past 4 decades?
Yes, I think that what I intended to say is still true. I think that there is a caveat there, Sonia, and the caveat is that there needs to be good collaboration with the side of maternity care that can take care of problems. We need to have good connections, but when you have good connections, then it works very well. And all the midwives where we were established had privileges to take women into the hospital. So the women knew that if they had to go to the hospital or it was indicated in their particular case, that the same midwives would go with them to care for them, so that they had friends going with them. Because so many times women go into hospitals and they don't know anybody, and one of their big fears is, will this be somebody that I like, that I can get along with, or is this going to be someone who doesn't care about me?
Yes. And do you have some key advice to women? In your opinion, what is the most sensitive moment for a pregnant woman? Is it the prenatal care or the postnatal care?
I think it's a continuum, and it really should start before conception takes place, which is a big job that we have to do to inform women about this. But getting to the woman in pregnancy is the most important thing, and we use group care so that the women share with each other how they feel about what's happening to them. And one woman will say that, oh yes, this other woman has the same feelings that I do too. And she knows then that she's all right. She's part of the group. She's not different from, she doesn't have to worry about that. And the women really do a good job of teaching each other. This is especially important about breastfeeding, because there's a lot of conversation that goes on, and we even have women who have given birth in the birth center and breastfed their babies to come in. Now they have jobs, and they come and teach the women about breastfeeding. And if a woman has a problem with breastfeeding, they will even go out in the middle of the night and help that woman to really do what we call latching on. The baby gets onto the nipple all right and can realize the benefits of the milk. So it's been wonderful, because the women who have given birth now share their experiences with the women coming in, and it's a very effective thing. I think one of the things about working in low-income neighborhoods, it's not advertising that helps. It's word of mouth. It's always word of mouth. If some women have good experiences and they tell other women, then they will come.
What is your opinion on the health policy of the Obama's government?
I think the Obamacare is very necessary, very thoughtfully provided, and very needed. And it will save tremendous amounts of money, because in our model, we have demonstrated that if all births to women who needed government support, what we call Medicaid in our country, if all women who got that, who needed it, were able to get it, then it could save the system $2 billion a year. And this has been proven by a study done by the Urban Institute, that if all women going to birth with Medicaid support could have this kind of care, it could save that kind of money for the system.
Finally, Ruth, you have been very active in these last 3 years. What are some of your main achievements, and maybe, most important, your next targets?
I think that one of the things that excites me most, Sonia, is the fact that people from all over the world who see our model want to replicate it where they are, because, and there's great recognition of the importance of early childhood education, because in our Developing Family Center we have the birth center, we have follow-up home visiting, but for the children starting at 6 weeks up until 3 years of age, we have early childhood development education. And it is so important, because one of the reasons that poor people have to turn to crime is because they don't, in general, they don't have a good, effective education, so they can't get the kinds of jobs that other people can have access to. And so when they can't get really good jobs, they have to turn to crime for finding a way to support themselves. And this is demonstrated also in that film that I told you about, the Call the Midwife, because these are midwives working on the docks in London with poor white Cockney people, And it's the same problems. The problem is not race, Sonia. The problem is poverty.
Exactly. Thank you very much, Ruth. Thank you so much. You're very precious for us here in Tonalité de Femme, and we hope to see you very soon again.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Thank you. Bye-bye.